Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Poe from the Offenders DC Universe Online PC server. I'm here to talk about what happens when you get to level 30. Now, my nephew recently started playing this game on the PS3, and he thought when he got to level 30, he makes a new character, he goes on. A lot of people don't realize is that this game starts at level 30. Now, what I mean by that is simply the entire game becomes accessible to you at roughly level 30. I mean, you could always venture into Metropolis and venture into Gotham, but the endgame progression starts at level 30, and it actually takes quite a while, especially since they made lots of changes involving combat rating. So if you played the game maybe at launch and you haven't touched it since it went to free-to-play, it is entirely different now, and I personally think for the better. One of the first things I recommend doing once you're level 30 is actually adding the custom looking for group chat channel. And you do that by going to options, settings, then you go all the way down to chat options, and you go here, create join custom channel. Now if you're a hero, you basically just type in LFG, and if you're villain, you type in VLFG. This actually isn't very big on the PS3, so I guess this is more for PC people. And you add the channel. Another thing I recommend doing would be color coding that channel, because there's going to be a lot of chatter. I kind of have VLFG in bright orange. It just makes it a lot easier to find groups, especially once you kind of move into the raids, because you could be wanting to raid but not have everybody around. You'll see people in LFG or VLFG looking for members for a raid, so it's a really great way of getting things done. If you open up your on-duty menu, you will notice that there are duos, alerts, raids, two types of PvP, vaults, and events. Your duos, your tier 1 duos, you can actually access all of them the second you turn level 30. Each of the duos give you marks which you could use to purchase tier 1 gear. Tier 2 duos you can access once you're combat rating 43, as it says over here. And then there's a tier 3 duo that you can access at combat rating 53. Now the difference is the rewards. The tier 1s give you marks of triumph, the tier 2s give you marks of distinction, and the tier 3s give you marks of Krypton. The different marks give you different gear, each upping your combat rating to access further content. So once you have the tier 1 gear from the tier 1 marks, you get the tier 2 gear, and it goes the same way with alerts. General alerts are from before you're 30, so you might want to make sure you close that tab and don't queue up for them on accident. Now, right when you become level 30, you can queue for Area 51. This is a hard mode version of the general Area 51, Ace Chemicals, and the Hall of Doom Armory. And if you're on hero side, it's the Watchtower. It's a different alert. Once you reach combat rating 34, you can queue up for Smallville, Strikers Island, and Arkham. Now you might ask what this combat rating thing is I'm talking about, so I will show you. If you open up your inventory, go to stats, and it's right here. Now I'm going to show you the quickest way, in my opinion, to get your combat rating up once you get to level 30. So that way you can access all of the tier 1 alerts immediately the first day. Now mind you, this is all villain side, however everything I'm going to show you has hero equivalents, which are really not that difficult to find because most of them are kind of in the same place except the Watchtower. Now let me drop down here because I'm in the Hall of Doom by the auction house, and very first thing we will do is we will head to a loyalty gear vendor. Now loyalty gear comes from having a loyalty rating of cooperative with each of the factions. Each of the factions have the same gear, and it each costs 1 mark of triumph. So what you basically want to do is the very first day, do all the duos, and do one of the alerts, and you'll have enough to buy each of these pieces. Now if you'll notice, I just flew in from the entrance of the Magic Wing. That's the entrance right there. If you were a hero in the Watchtower, you would basically kind of do the same thing. You'd fly into the Magic Wing and just look for the person that has the little blue shopping bag above their head. I will quickly show you an example of where the tier 1 and tier 2 gear is. For the magic wing, this is the tier 1 gear. In the meta wing and the tech wing, it's basically in the exact same place. And you buy this with the Marks of Triumph. At the end of doing all of your tier 1 alerts and duos, after about a week and a half or so, you basically should have this filled out. Also, there's single challenge missions that you can do. This is the tier 2 gear. In the magic, in the meta and tech wings, it's basically in the same place also. The tier 3 gear, see, this is the tier 4 gear in the magic wing. If you go to the meta wing, the tier 3 gear is in these capsules just like this, lined up in the same places as well. So these little machines here in each of the wings give you the challenge missions. The Hall of Doom is much similar to the Watchtower, so if you're a hero, just fly around the Watchtower in each wing, you will see these little machines that will give you the daily challenge missions. That's pretty much it with where the gear is and where the missions are. Now, the next thing you want to do is also in the magic wing. Well, the loyalty gear vendors are in all the wings, but for the magic wing is you want to go to the Kandak teleporter. Now, it doesn't matter what your combat rating is, you can enter the Kandak teleporter if you walk in once you're level 30. So we're going to do that because we want to get the Kandak treasure chest. Now, once you walk inside Kandak, this is what you see. Now, mind you, this is an 8-person raid, so don't try and attack anything. What you want to do is just go straight to the roof. Excuse me. Now, the roofs here are basically where you find the treasure chest. There's all these little huts. So you basically just go from hut until you find the treasure chest. Now, I kind of just flew around in a circle across all the huts and it wasn't there. So I will go on and show you the other 2 places that the treasure chest spawns in here. Straight out here in the middle of the desert, there's another tiny little hut that sometimes has it. It's not there. So of course it's going to be in the last place, which is, this is the final boss door. I don't know if you're familiar with the instance. Right off to the side here. Bam. And I got a hammer, which is a 2-handed weapon. It's 77.9 DPS and it's for DPS roll, which means anybody could equip it. Which means if you are low CR, you want to make sure you put 1 skill point into 2-handed, equip this weapon, and keep it in your inventory. It will temporarily boost your combat rating, even if you don't use it. Just make sure you have had it equipped and it stays in your inventory. Now, once you exit, if you open up the on-duty menu and you go to the raids, you will notice that it says you are locked from the treasure chest in Kandak. Now, raid locks reset once a week, so you can only get this treasure chest once a week, unless you actually pay reset badges to reset the instance, but I wouldn't recommend doing that just for the treasure chest. So if you get something that you can't equip, say you're a healer and you get a controller weapon, or if you're a controller and you get a healer, neck piece, you kind of just got to take your licks on that. I really would not recommend doing that. What you can do is, if you have another level 30, is go in with another level 30, and most items that you get are tradable, so you can trade them over. Once you complete this, the next thing you want to do is, once you have obviously the full blue set, also the loyalty set, is go mod it out. Now what I recommend doing is just simple beta mods. Each beta mod will increase your CR by about, item level for each item by about 2. So if you make a full set of beta mods, it should increase your CR by about 2 for the full 8 set. They're really simple to farm, and I have a video on how to do that if you're curious. Once you finish modding out your gear, there is one last thing you can do. It's the Thermosphera teleporter for the Gates of Tartarus, also in the Magic Wing. It's the tier 4 raid. You can walk into it, again at level 30. Now, once you're inside, you basically come straight through the main hall here, and you just want to fly straight to the, looks like the northeast corner, and you'll see an exclamation point. If the treasure chest is in here, in the first room, it's going to be right here where I'm standing. So it wasn't this try. The problem is, between tries to get the chest, you actually have to log out of the game and log back in, or you have to join up a group with somebody else and then run in, because it's going to create a new instance. But if you get an item that you can equip, it should shoot up your CR a significant amount. And if you get an item that you can't equip, if you break it down at the scavenging research and development machine, it actually has a chance of giving you a focus element 4, which is awesome if you want to sell it and make some money for a fresh 30, or if you want to make a tier 4 mod by trading some of the materials, that'd be pretty great. The only other things I can really recommend aside from a league carrying you through raids, giving you gear, is if you have a league that actively raids Gates of Tartarus, what you basically want to do is once they finish the raid, ask them to, if they walked in, that is, ask them to invite you to the group, so that way you can go through the whole empty raid and get all the greens and blues. Because I forget which it was, the greens or the blues in there, but they give you this face piece, which is actually incredible. It's item level 71. So I mean, all my level 30 alts have this mask, just because we finished a raid with the purpose of letting alts walk in after, or fresh 30s walk in after to get this mask. So that's the only other thing aside from just full on people carrying you through raids and you getting raid gear before you're really ready. Aside from that, you just kind of have to grind it, do your dailies, do your alerts and your duos, and once you get to combat rating, I believe it's 40, you can start raiding the tier 1 raids, which are a tremendous amount of fun. It makes the game worthwhile, and it really keeps you coming back. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I try and answer every single question. You can also message me in game. I've been helping a lot of people out that have been watching these videos lately. I only ask you two things. One, please don't send me any blind invitations without messaging me first. And two, when you need me for something, spell it out for me what you need. Don't just tell me you need me in a raid. Tell me you need a healer or a damage roll. Tell me which raid. That kind of thing. I feel free to help, and I think a lot of my league mates are also really cool and will help out. So just let us know. If you want to apply to our league, we're always kind of recruiting. I will tell you right now, we don't really take anybody under the age of 18, so because a lot of us are older, have kids, and we won't really feel comfortable being ourselves around people under 18. But our website is theyoffend.us. I'm going to leave it in the description below. Thanks. Have a great day, guys.